You are welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to record a sales transaction that involves value-added tax and in which discount is being allowed to a customer. Now, I'll be doing that using QuickBooks Desktop. So, as you can see on my screen, I've already created a company on QuickBooks Desktop. I've created the company, I've set up the customers and set up the products that the company sells. So now go ahead to record the transaction, the sales transaction where VAT was charged and there's discount on the product that was sold. Now, to do that, the very first thing is to set up your sales tax on QuickBooks Desktop. So how do we do that? We'll come to list, we'll come to edit, come to preferences. Now, if preferences, I'll come to sales tax. I'll click on sales tax. Now, I won't click on sales tax. I'll come to company preferences. Now, it says, do you charge sales tax? Now, by default, QuickBooks will automatically select no, assuming that you don't charge sales tax. Now, but if you charge sales tax, if the company charge value-added tax, in this case, we'll have to select yes. So select yes. Now, it says set up sales tax item. Add a sales tax item for each country, district, parish where you collect tax. Now, this is where you add up your different sales tax. Now, you might have different kinds of tax on sales. You might have value-added tax is just one of them. There's consumption tax for other states in Nigeria, for instance, in Lagos. Now, let's add a sales tax. So click on add sales tax item. So on the window that pops up, if I click on add sales item, now this window that pops up, I'll select sales tax item, which is already selected. Now the sales tax name, now I'll call it VAT output. Now the description, I'll give it a description of value added tax on sales, right? So the tax rate is 7.5%. Now the tax agency, it says tax agency, vendors that you collect tax from. Now on QuickBooks, your tax agencies are recognized as vendors because you are collecting money on behalf of the tax agency. So you need to set up your tax agency if you have not done that before. So we're going to set up our tax agency, and the tax agency here is FIRS. So I'll click on here, click on add new. Now the vendor name, I'll just enter FIRS. Then the opening balance. Now when you're setting up a vendor on QuickBooks, you need to enter the opening balance as at the end of the previous financial year, or the opening balance for the beginning of the current financial year, which is the same as the closing balance at the end of the previous financial year. So this is FIRS. It's not actually a supplier, it's just QuickBooks recognizing it as a vendor. So the opening balance is going to be 0. So we're going to put the as at opening balance as at now 31st of December. The opening balance is the same like the closing balance, like as at 31st of December 2023, right? So I'll click on OK. So that's that about that. I'll click OK. Now I've created my sales tax item. Now it said assign sales tax code. Sales tax code determine if the items you sell are taxable or non-taxable. Taxable item allowed as taxable. So an item that is taxable. Now a company might be selling products, might be into different kinds of products. Some might be taxable, others might not be taxable. So what this is saying is for the products that are taxable, you give it a tax code. You have to give it a tax code. So I'll allow it as tax. Then non-taxable item is going to be showing by the side of it, by the side of this description, non-taxable. So I haven't done that. Now it now says where do you owe sales tax? As of invoice date, accrual basis, upon receipt of payment. Now, once you issue an invoice, what this option is saying is QuickBooks automatically charge VAT on that invoice, such that when the customer pays, the customer will be paying the amount inclusive of VAT. So where do you pay your sales tax? So it's monthly. So if you say VAT is remitted on a monthly basis, so I'll click on OK. So now it says updating sales tax. It says make all existing customers taxable Now, do you want to make all your existing customers taxable? Well, some customers might be giving special preferences, or maybe that particular group of customers that is required not to charge tax. Then you have to uncheck this box, and when you are raising an invoice, you specify if tax will be charged to this particular customers or not. Now, the second option says make all existing non-inventory and inventory part taxable. So I'm going to leave the both options checked. Now click on OK. So now click on OK. Now we're going to record this transaction. Now, we're going to record a transaction where a customer bought two different items that this company sells. Now, the company is into the sale of wholesale and distribution of phones. So how do you raise an invoice for a particular customer? So come to customer, come to create invoices. So this is the invoice window, as you can see. So the very first thing is to select which customer are you raising the invoice for. So I'll come here. Now I have set up just two customers already for the purpose of this video. So let's assume this customer Mike Eze wants to buy. Now the date of this transaction, I'm going to put today's date, 18th of January, right? So this is the invoice number. Now the item code. Now this are, if you've before, I've done all the work at the back of the scene. I've set up my inventory items. So these are the two products that the company is selling so far. This is just an example. We have Infinix X7 and Samsung Galaxy. Right, these are the products I've set up so far. So we're going to assume the company this customer wants to buy Infinix X7 and is going for 10 units of this product. So this is the price of each. So you can see the total amount. This is, if you see the price of each unit, you see the price of each unit of Infinix X7, and you see the total value. Now the customer is equally buying three units of Samsung Galaxy, right? So this is the price for each. Now all these prices are popping up because I've set up my price list and I've set up my product list. Now this is the total value. Now you can see here VAT output 7.5%, so it has charged VAT. So this, if you add the total amount, total value of the sales transaction, this should be giving you this is about this is 1.4. This is 1.4. So by the time you calculate VAT on that amount, it's going to give you a total of 1,505,000 VAT inclusive. Now this is automatically calculating this because I have set up my sales tax on QuickBooks. So you can see VAT output 7.5 already calculated for me. So I'll now click save and close. Save and close. I don't need this. So we have recorded our transaction, but yet we have not accounted for discount. So how do we account for discount? Now I have to take note of the particular customer this transaction is relating to. So I can always go back to that invoice to know which particular customer. So when I've gone back to my invoice template to see the very last invoice that was raised, I'll click on this arrow here, the backward arrow. So this is the invoice that was raised. Let me go front. Okay, this is the this is the invoice that was raised. This is the invoice that was raised. Particular invoice that was raised. Right now, I have to this is the customer's name. So how do I apply the discount allowed on this particular product? Now to do that, I'll do that using a journal entry. Now because I can't account for discount allowed on this invoice. So to do that, I'll come to the accountant section, come to make general entries. I'll click on OK. So I'll come here. Now this is the journal entry window that's pop up. Now this is the journal entry window. So I'll select the account I want to debit. So I'll be debiting the journal entry here is I'll be debiting my discount allowed account and creating account receivable. So on this table, on this drop down arrow, I have to select discount allowed, but we don't have a discount allowed set up on our charts of account. So to quickly do that, we click on add new. So this is the window that normally pops up for creating charts of account. So the account we want to create is an expense allowed account. Now discount allowed is an expense account. Why? Because it reduces the amount the company is supposed to receive as sales. So it's a form of expense to the company. So I'll click on expense as the account type. I'll click on continue. Now the account name, I'll call it discount allowed. Discount allowed. Okay, so I'll click on, I don't need to enter any other information. I just click on close. Now I have to go back and know. Now assuming the discount is 10% that was granted to that customer, let me quickly go back to that invoice and know the total sales value. I'll come to customers. Let's come to customers, create invoices. So this is the invoice that's open. So the total amount inclusive of VAT is 1,505,000. So this means 10% of this amount. 10% of this amount is going to give us, if you take 10%, it's going to give us. So I'm quickly going to do that calculation right away. 10% of that amount is going to give us 155. Going to give us 150,500. So that's the amount. So I'll come back. I'll go back to my. Let me quickly go back to my journal entry. I'm going back to my journal entry. So this is it. So I'm going to put 150,500, 150,500. I'm going to credit my account receivables account. Now, why are we creating account receivables account? Now, account receivables have closing balances because they are debtors account, they are asset account. So it's normally supposed to have a closing balance, but because you are reducing the amount you are charging to a particular customer, because this is going to reduce the amount that customer is owing us due to the invoice that was raised. So it's going to be on the credit side. So you could give it a description. But before I could save this transaction, I need to select now account receivables on QuickBooks. Like on QuickBooks, account receivables refers to all the amount your customers are owing you, customers that had transaction with you and they are owing you as at a particular period. So this is account receivables. It's made up of different customers, but I need to specify which particular customers is this discount applied to. So I need to click on this arrow here and look for the customer. So it is Mike Eze. So I haven't done that. I can now click my save and close. So thank you very much for watching this video. Do well to click on the like button and subscribe so that you get notified when I produce such educational videos on accounting and finance. Thank you very much for watching. It's Anene Callistus here. Do have a fantastic day.